Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, August 30th. On the impact map for today, the main issue will be some gusty winds coming in off the Sierra Front into northwest Nevada. Also, a second area up in parts of the central mountains of Idaho, the Salmon Chalice Forest area. Fuels there have been drying out. They're marginally dry now, so I have to watch both areas for wind today and tomorrow, especially tomorrow. These winds, even though they're the same color, could be especially strong with wind gusts of over 50 miles per hour. Many fires up along the Sierra Crest could easily push into the Sierra front of Nevada. We'll have to watch that carefully. Smoke will get pushed eastwards as well. We'll also have to watch some monsoonal moisture and some good news for some of our fire activity in southwest Utah, pushing on northwards. And then Wednesday, a much more consolidated push of monsoonal moisture with some moderate to locally heavy rains where you see the green. So the good news for there. If we look at the smoke forecast near the surface, today on the left, tomorrow on the right, you can see the approaching cold front, which will pull up some of that monsoonal moisture and also produce some of those winds. We'll be consolidating that smoke and tightening up a little bit, mixing it out in northern areas. We see a similar pattern in the vertically integrated smoke, which is basically total smoke from the surface up above 6,000 feet from the surface. Been a quiet day for us lightning-wise, except for a few strikes down right along the southern part of the Arizona Strip and southern Nevada. A lot of monsoonal moisture and thunderstorms poised just to the south. This will be moving northwards and northeastwards over the next couple of days. Fire activity, new fire starts in red. Obviously, our Oak Grove fire down in southwest Utah be the most pressing activity. Otherwise, not much else going on in terms of new fires. It has been very dry on the left. You can see almost no precipitation for the past 7 days other than some isolated amounts across parts of central eastern Utah. But other than that, percent of normal, near 0% of normal areas in the red. So we've been drying out quite a bit. You can see that reflected on the ERC point map. Areas in the red already approaching the 90th percentile. Even down in southern Utah, southwest Utah, and in the Arizona Strip especially, it's been drying out. Fuels are approaching the 70th, maybe even close to the 80th percentile in some spots where we see the orange. That will be changing in the next 24 to 48 hours, but it's something we're contending with right now. Satellite imagery shows some of that monsoonal moisture poised just to the south, but this deep low pressure area over British Columbia and these strong winds associated with the tight packing of these yellow height lines indicates increasing winds across parts of the Pacific Northwest into Northern California, and this belt of winds will drop further south through the day today and especially tomorrow. There's our Hurricane Ida, now just a tropical system storm and probably headed towards depression status, but still some strong winds and rains. So for later today, there's a drier air punching in. We've got some gusty winds coming across western Nevada, enough so that we do have high risk for winds across much of northwest Nevada and also into parts of northern California as well, something we'll keep an eye on. And also secondary area of winds up in the Salmon Chalice area, quite gusty as well. We'll look at those winds. You can see them here in the central Idaho, these dark oranges, approaching 30 miles per hour. Similar story here in the Sierra, but very low humidities all throughout. Now we will see some light precipitation in terms of monsoonal moisture, maybe sneaking into southern Nevada, into the Arizona Strip as well. Humidities there coming up a little bit, but bone dry most other areas. Now for tomorrow, see these tight packing of these height lines pushing further south. Those winds across western Nevada really starting to pick up and into parts of Idaho as well. So we do have high risk in some of these areas, and especially critical here. Looking at our humidities, bone dry, 6-7%. Some of these winds extremely strong, 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Some of that, the Calder fire that's pushing into towards the Tahoe Basin. We'll have to, some of that could start spreading towards our border area. But we do see also monsoonal moisture pushing up into parts of southern Utah and the Arizona Strip, maybe parts of Nevada. So that is good news. On Wednesday, deeper monsoonal moisture pushes on in across the eastern areas. You can see the green, a big change across the eastern Great Basin. Humidity, what a difference, 30 to 50+% in the east, but still totally different story in the west and north. Still single digits to teens, but the wind's not a factor as much on Wednesday. Here's the precipitation covering much of Utah, especially the eastern two-thirds, down to the Arizona Strip. So another good soaking. And 3-day precipitation totals really tell the tale. So near the Oak Grove fire, maybe a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall is expected. Somebody could come in a hurry. You have to keep an eye out for possible land movement in events like this, but dry further to the west. Now, quick look at Thursday. Just seasonable conditions. High pressure starting to build in from the Pacific, drier air, but we could still see lingering showers across parts of Utah, still in the green. Monsoonal moisture gets pushed to the south. We see a gradual drying trend Friday into Saturday. Temperatures warming back up to near or even slightly above normal in most other areas. No real strong wind events, but the damage has been done in terms of moistening of fuels in the eastern areas. And by the time we get into Sunday, high pressure with hot and dry conditions, although light winds across the western Great Basin. Maybe a return of some isolated thunderstorms across parts of central to eastern Nevada and parts of Utah. 7-day precipitation total, most of this is in the first 3 days, and the 8 to 14 day shows warmer than normal temperatures and drier than normal conditions for the area. So overall, especially for the western areas of the Great Basin, fire season continues. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.